Number-based systems converting numbers from base 10 to base B. Example 3.10. Convert 5,477 to base 8. All right, now what we want to do in this case is we want to look at the place values, start by looking at the place values for base 8. All right, and we want to see how high we can go. All right, so we have the 1s, the 8s, the 64s, 8 to the third power, or 64 times 8 is 512. 512 times 8 is 4,096. And then if you multiplied 4,096 by 8 to get to the next place value in base 8, that number would be 32,776, which is way bigger than 5,477, which is the number that we were given to work with. So these are the place values that we're going to try to fill in. We need to find out how many 4,096s are contained in 5,477. And after we determine that, we want, and we see what's left over, we want to see how many 512s are left in what's left over, and so forth. So what I've done is I've created a place value for us to work with. You should do this on a separate piece of paper also. We're going to fill this in, and once we fill this in, we're going to have our answer. All right, so the question is, we have 4,096s. That's where we start. And what we want to know is how many times does 4,096 go in to the given number, which is 5,477. Well, this number is only going to go in once. And if you multiply and subtract to get the remainder, we get a remainder of 1,381. So what this tells us is that we have one 4,096 contained in the given number 5,477. So we're going to put a 1 in the 4,096 place. All right, now we're going to take what's left over, this 1,381, and we'll go to the next place value, which was 512, and we want to see how many 512s are contained in that remainder. And there are two 512s contained in 1,381. So again, if we multiply and subtract to get the new remainder, our new remainder is 357. But what's important here is this 2, because this 2 is telling us how many 512s are contained in our number. So, or in the remainder after we've taken out the 496s. Okay, now going back to our new remainder, this 357, I'm going to now go and find out how many 64s, which is the very next place value, are contained in the remainder of 357. And there are 5. All right, if you do your division. All right, so what we want to know is what the remainder is again. All right, so 5 times 64 is 320, and then you subtract, of course, to get the next remainder, which is 37. But what we want to make note of is that there are 5 64s in our given number. So we're going to put a 5 in the 64th place. Okay, so now we want to know how many 8s, which is the next place value down, are contained in 37. So we divide 8 into you keep dividing the next place value into the remainder. So we divide 8 into 37. That's going to go 4 times, and that's going to give us a remainder of 5. So we know that there are 4 8s contained in that next remainder. So we have a 4 in the 8th place. Whoops, changed colors on us. Let's keep it in blue. Okay, and finally, we want to know how many 1s are contained in 5. Well, there are 5 1s in 5, so then we have a 5 in the 1s place, and so therefore the number 5,477 477 in base 10 is equal to 1, 2, 5, 4, 5 in base 8.